Well, they finally shot down the old Chinese spy balloon, but not until after it had went across the entire United States, all the way over the Atlantic Ocean before they finally shot it down. That should be a pretty big concern for even just the average, everyday Americans, because they had the opportunity to do this well before it got to the U.S. mainland, and they knew it was coming, obviously, because they knew it was launched from mainland China. So they've been tracking it for a while, and they just didn't do anything about it. There's really no other way to explain this other than that's just either an inept government or a corrupt government. There's nothing else in between. Either they're so inept that they could not figure out what a giant balloon coming from mainland China was here to do. And if they're that inept, they don't need to be in government. They don't need to be trying to lead the American people, because the American people are smarter than that. Or they're so corrupt that they knew what it was there for, and they decided to just let it go because they owe China so much, or they're trying to bow down to China so much. They're so corrupt in letting China basically run everything that this was a major win for China. It's a major loss for the American people. This is something that is, this is the vital national security. Like, this balloon was going over, vital points that, are vital to the American, national security. Some nuclear, sites and stuff like that are major, things that we definitely want to keep safe, and even just the smaller, just being in American airspace without, being in American airspace is a matter of national security itself, but going over these places that it was going, some of the places it was going over makes it even worse. They're like I said, they had their opportunities to stop this before it ever got to this point. So they waited until they got to America, and then, now we can't, because now they're worried about, casualties and, if they shoot it down over the American mainland. Well, why the hell didn't they do it when it was before it got to the American, to America? Or if they didn't see it until, which I have a hard time believing they didn't see it till it got to the American mainland, why the hell didn't they shoot it down over the mountains where there's nobody at, where there would be no casualties? There's ways they could have done it. They just plain didn't want to, which that tells me that that's not being inept. That tells me that's corruption. That is bowing down to China because either they owe China or they're scared of China. And I don't know why you'd be scared of China, because honestly, the American military is still leaps and bounds ahead of the Chinese military. But this is a major publicity win, if nothing else, for the Chinese. And my guess is probably even more than that, because they probably got all kinds of footage of classified, sites and everything of nuclear sites and whatever of the U.S. So now they know where that, they know a little more about that stuff, which is a major problem when it comes down to it, because I'll be honest, we're getting very, very close to a World War III. And it's not coming with Russia and Ukraine. It's coming with Russia and Taiwan. And this probably just justified China's plans and probably just helped them out, because now they've got all this information, and now they know more about the U.S. security than they ever should, which is going to give them a better head start, or at least a better planning when they go to invade Taiwan. Because I'll be honest, that's coming. That is literally, there's nothing they can do. They have to invade Taiwan based on their laws. So that's coming very, very soon, because there's no way Taiwan's going to just come into the fold and go to China, because they've got it way better in China. So they're not going to just reunify peacefully. They're going to fight. So China's going to invade Taiwan. It's going to be a bloody war. We should defend Taiwan, but that's a whole nother video. But this just is a major win for the Chinese and a major loss for the U.S., because that government is so corrupt. They're so worried about bowing to China, they can't do what's best for the American people. And that's becoming a major theme with Biden. under the Biden administration, and that needs to change right now. Not in the near future, right now. That's got to change if we want to keep our country, because this country is going downhill with Biden at the helm, and this is just another example of that.